can't even, the moment that you're high and mighty, you can't learn Jesus. Oh God.
I'm happy you hit it from the bait, the wise and the prudent.
Yep. Bro,
yeah.
And something you become as a
child.
Oh my God, bro.
You're not gonna see it if you're trying to.
Not.
Actually,
it's
you're
reprobate.
trying too much.
Oh, you think you got it?
You're trying too hard.
Yes. And so now we have this concept. So now this is where it comes from.
And that's how you judge
that's what the concept.
yourself in the moment. Are you trying to do something?
Yeah, and you're going to, remember I said that the greatest law in the commandment, love the Lord your God, all your heart, your mind, soul. The second, love your neighbors, love yourself. Remember we talked about it, that's really a statement of what is already. So that really means however you identify yourself with God, love, right? Love is identity. You're identifying yourself with your neighbor. So that means you're trying to make your neighbor a project because you believe you're a project.
Yep. It's the truth. That's the truth.
I mean, look at relationships. Like people date people.
Oh my God.
That's projects all the time.
Let's not go there.
Let's fix them.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, we're trying to fix them.
That's
Trying
the
to get
truth.
your.
That's the truth, man.
Wow.
But that's only a reflection of how they view themselves, though.
Only reflection of how you view yourself. And now, because you think, watch this. I'm going to change your mind. I'm going to change everybody's mind. And if you can catch this, this will be great. All right, this will be one of our best podcasts. All right, watch this. That you are not one of God's projects.
Man.
True story.
If anything, you're not God's project, you're his projection. And you're his produce. So now people are not projects, they're produce.
Yes.
You know, it's not something that we're working on and we're trying to see if it works or not. No, I know it is because it's me.
It's already absolute.
It's already absolute. The only experiments are the things on the outside of you. You know, you send them in the garden to be tempted, tested, experimented. Right? They're on the outside of you, but you are already equipped to be because you are.
You are.
So now, all right, so if I love my neighbors, I love myself, then maybe the reason that we go to everybody, and maybe because we're the wrong way judgmental, or we're condemning, or we're condescending, or whatever we want to say, is because that's how we think.
But you can't even do that if you lowly in heart, though.
Right.
If you at a low place.
You can't.
You can't do it.
Ain't
You can't condescend.
Ain't nobody get under you if you at the flow.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And people don't know this. You ready for this?
That's the cross you're bearing.
People don't know this.
Yeah. Nah, true. Yeah.
You ready for what people don't know? God is on the flow.
Come on.
I like that.
He's not in the sky.
God is on the flow.
Think about where the power comes from.
I like that.
The center of the earth. Think about the center of the earth. Where the power comes from.
God is on the flow.
What?
Yeah. I like that.
And when you're one with God, you're on the flow. You can't be one with him unless you're on the flow.
Yep. Everybody won't be up high on high though.
Bruh.
Wouldn't that be the greatest?
I got something to say. I'm just saying that's how they be.
Yeah.
Hey, I got something to say.
Say it, girl.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't that be the greatest mystery?
Bruh.
Yeah.
Low here, low there. God on the flow. He grounded.
Everybody looking everywhere else. Right there, bro. Nah, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfection. That is perfection, bro.
And so if I think God is in the sky, then as I believe, being unto me according to my faith. So that's why I've been trying to look down on people. Not personally me, but not personally you guys, but like we tend to think that I'm better than somebody. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that people don't need to.
I was just about to say that.
Well, we don't, not people, I got to say that we don't need to change. Like people, somebody else, right?
I feel like people should look at their approach.
We should look at our approach.
No, yeah.
I'm saying people.
We should look at our approach. I feel like me included with other people.
Like catch the body. Catch
the Holy Ghost.
I don't want
Shots
listeners to think that we're not talking about them because they're not looking down on anybody.
Well, what is looking down on somebody? Think about that for a minute.
That's what I'm saying. It's your approach to what you think you're supposed to be doing with other people around. We're saying when you go in thinking you are, sometimes you think you're helping, and that whole approach of how you came in maybe you're approaching it wrong. It's like a look down on.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed because watch this. One with God. We cool with that concept?
Yep.
If anybody's first time watching it, don't get all scared. Go watch the other ones. You don't make any judgments, right?
Go look at Jesus.
Go look at Jesus, right? And John 17, which is today's for us, today's reading, right? But then one with God, then the greatest commandment, love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul. Identify God, identify yourself with God, right? And the second was just like this: identify your neighbor as you've identified yourself. So now there is no down.
Right.
There's equal.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now the only reason there could be different levels or different placements is because you don't know you're one with God. You get what I'm saying? But this becomes the conversation.
Yep.
So for me, and we're gonna do the etymology in a minute for the word produce. But for me now, people are produce because you go in the store, you see produce. You know, in the produce aisle, there's no candy, there's no meats or anything like that. There's no nothing else. There's no juice or nothing. In the produce aisle, it's straight produce. It's straight stuff that's grown, fruits and vegetables.
That's what this section is for.
Which is great that everybody needs to be on produce right now while we're talking about
Right.
Viruses and stuff. But that's another conversation. But it's produce, and so now when we see people as that, then we realize that everybody will see people, see us as that. I'm trying to correct myself just for a minute. Not that I'll never use the word people again, but I have to, not as somebody else as us,
Yeah,
right? When we see us as our process and a produce, right, then we realize that we're still growing.
Always.
We're still growing, and we cannot wrap the gavel on somebody because of our moral standards of what we think, because there's still a growth in progress. A growth, they say work in progress is a growth in process.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so sometimes, but once again, we were talking about it before, because we want to micromanage.
Yeah.
Then we think we don't sow like we should.
Yeah.
Right? We want to sow and put our hands in the ground with the seed and then break it open. We want to crack it open.
Don't work like that.
It don't work like that. It never works like that. If you ever do it like that, it will not work.
Right.
Matter of fact, you got your hands on too much, and that's why nothing's growing.
Come on.
You keep on making your suggestions, and you
Let
keep
it
on
go.
doing, and it can't grow.
Let it go.
And what's crazy about growth is sometimes you got to sit back and let the seed die.
Yep. You do.
And not see any progress for the longest. With
That's what I'm saying.
faith, hope, and trust that what the seed is supposed to do, it will.
Yep.
That's the place we have a problem.
Yep.
Jesus did.